Oh, what's up?
You doing the show by yourself?
No, Dwayne just stepped out.
NBA second round of the playoffs has started as the Lakers face the Golden State Warriors. The Suns face the Denver Nuggets. New York Knicks face the Miami Heat. And the 76ers face the Boston Celtics. As Joel Embiid wins the MVP of the league, is the center, the dominant position in the league. We're going to discuss that as well as the NFL draft. There's some high grades for a lot of teams, but the rich keep getting richer as the
White
Eagles
boy that was sitting there
are
looking stupid ever gets picked for any team?
Oh yeah, the second round.
The white boy from Kentucky, or
Yeah.
who's playing for Kentucky? Or something?
Yeah, he got drafted.
Who drafted him?
Titans.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Oh,
Yeah,
So the
Okay.
second pick in the second round, right?
yeah, yeah.
he was looking.
This girl's looking mad.
She was looking mad because he didn't get that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
She thought he was gonna be the next. What's the white boy from the Patriots?
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Oh, he ain't going to like the sixth round.
Yeah.
Oh, Tashima got on. Yeah, that's why he put it over there.
Yeah, she got on.
What did she say?
She said our heads was cut off.
Oh, she watched it.
So I got it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's set up.
People are watching that.
Oh, okay, with the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, it's still small numbers, but people are watching.
Better than nobody, right?
Oh, people are apparently listening to you online and
Really?
on FM too.
Oh, what are the numbers like?
I mean, the streaming numbers are still low because we ain't really promoted the station yet.
Oh, okay.
But there are consistent folks
Yeah.
tuning in,
Oh, that's cool.
and I know I've talked to some people who live in the coverage area, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we listen to the sports show on Thursday." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, nice.
So it'll be
Good.
Just remember that people can't call. I mean, you can't receive calls or put them on the
Right.
air in here. I mean, you can
Right.
receive calls, but you just can't put them on the air.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll see if I can get our
Fix
engineer to
that.
fix that. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all ain't fucked up this carpet or nothing.
What's that?
No,
He was
I was
thinking
joking.
He's going to have to cuss us out for messing up the cart.
No, I said I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all ain't messed up the carpet or nothing.
I think something wrong with his headphones.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was on the air last week too. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that maybe that cable just scoot over. Just scoot over.
Oh.
I'm thinking this cable might need to be replaced.
Oh, there it is.
Is that good?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good show.
Thank you.
What song is this? Life's So Hard.
What?
This song called Life's So Hard. Goodness.
I thought that y'all picked y'all song.
No, I didn't. I need to. I need to start
Y'all
doing
can
that
go in
again.
there
I know.
and change the
I need to
songs
start
up.
doing that again because you hear this song.
I'm not nowhere, but just let me know when we get ready. Come on, man.
Even King would be like, damn. Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. Putting
Putting
songs on there. Yeah, 'cause I was just so doing other stuff. I used to do that with the other system. Put the songs in, put the songs in there. It was real. That system was really easy. But they changed it to this one. So.
Oh, don't forget I got a program out.
Oh, where is it? Oh.
Oh, I got the
Oh,
keyboard.
And the
okay.
clear one, that's where the new ones are. And
Okay.
then when you're done with it, put it in the black one. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a long time, but we ain't gonna wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What is the reason?
All right, we're live. Keep Winning Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
It is May 4th, 2023. I know I'm not going to say it.
May the 4th be with
I'm
you.
not going to say
May
it.
the 4th be with you.
No. So
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Man.
we are live here on KRDP. Listen to number 2, KRDP.com. And the NFL draft came and went.
Yes,
And
sir.
people are saying this is a great NFL draft.
It
A
was
lot
good.
of
It
teams
was good.
got a lot of players that they needed.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of teams got high grades as far as like the pundits are concerned and whatnot. We were just talking to our executive, Kaja Brown. He's talking about Will Levis, the quarterback, who
Out of Kentucky. Yeah.
out of Kentucky, who was supposed to go in the top 4. And we was on here live last week, like, why is he getting picked? We, talked about the whole first round, and there was a picture of him and his girlfriend, fiance, and it looked very telling. She was not happy.
Yeah, because he lost out on that first round guaranteed money.
She was upset. Now, he went to the Tennessee Titans,
Yeah.
the second pick of the second round.
And Tannehill's the quarterback down there, right?
Yes, and then last year they got a quarterback, Malik Willis.
Yeah,
so,
but they said they're not exactly happy with him, so they're gonna see what Levis can do.
Right. And one thing that was really what I've seen, what everybody was talking about, the main thing was the fact that the Eagles went dogs.
Yeah.
They went
Georgia
all
Bulldogs.
Georgia Bulldogs. 3 players, from Georgia. Then the year before, grabbing, I think it was 3 more players last season. I mean, their front 7 is so stacked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
with top players all up and down that defensive front. Obviously, with the guy that slipped down to them from Georgia, what's his name?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Mhm.
And because of that, vehicular homicide, I'm not sure how was it classified. If he's going to do any jail time, obviously most likely probation or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's
A
gonna do
huge
jail time.
fine or whatnot. But he slid to them, and he was the top pick in the draft. He was the best available, as they say, best available player. He was the overall number 1 best available player.
Yeah, weren't they were saying he was the best player in the draft, right?
Yes, and he fell because of all that, and the Eagles lucked up. So this reminds me of when back when the Patriots used to luck up so bad. So a player would slip and they would grab him up at 15, 16, 19, 20. They would trade up in the draft and grab some players, and that's how Tom Brady won all those championships, because of the smart drafting and whatnot from the Patriots. But the Eagles are doing the same thing. Also, looking at the draft, you have first ever top 3 quarterbacks. Top 3 picks are black quarterbacks.
Right.
First time that's ever happened. So, with Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud, you have, 3 black quarterbacks. First time ever. I think some people was kind of upset about that, but what are you going to do? The Texans actually listened to Bryce Young and grabbed a wide receiver for him. So that's a very interesting thing as well, to where the first thing they did was listen to Bryce Young and grab a wide receiver for him. Also, even bigger news, is with the Lamar Jackson deal. We talked about that last week. He talked about he's wanting to get 6,000 yards with the wide receiver core that is going on over there.
Oh, 6,000?
He's
Woo.
going for 6,000. That's going to be
I got a question.
very lofty.
Has anybody ever thrown for 6,000
In the season, I don't think
in
so.
a season? I know Brady and Peyton did 5.
Right,
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes
Mahomes.
did 5, a little
Okay.
over 5. I think he has the most in a season.
Hey, do you remember when if you threw for 2,500? If you threw for 2,500, that was considered a good season.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, very long time ago. And with the NFL, being king that it is, and the NFL draft, covering everything, we got to switch to the NBA playoffs, because the NBA playoffs, we have some very, very interesting developments coming into the second round, as with the Suns and Denver. CP3 is out for Game 3. Game 2, it's 2-0 Denver. Chris Paul injured himself. I think sprained his groin, and this is one of those injuries where he's had, on and off throughout his career: legs, knees, groin, back. I mean, he had every injury known to man as an athlete. Right. Now he's groin injury. He's out for Game 3. Do you think Denver's going to sweep them?
Possibly. I don't like to say that about any team that has Kevin Durant on it, and how Kevin Durant can do his thing, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. They dropped those 2 games in Denver, right?
Yes.
So they're coming back to Phoenix. If they could pull off Game 3, then they can tie it up Game 1. They have to win Game 3 though. If they go down 3-0, probably gonna be a gentleman's sweep.
Right. I can see KD and Devin Booker, conjuring up some kind of miraculous game where they both are scoring 35 to 30 points apiece.
Does Phoenix still have that 1-point guard that came out the bench that backs up CP3? Can't remember his name. Because last year he was coming off the bench for him.
I think he's the one who got traded. Mikal Bridges who got traded.
I know
With
Mikal
Kevin-
Bridges
with
got
Kevin.
traded.
Yeah.
He got traded with that. Okay,
But,
all right.
but it was another one of those cams, because it was a 2 Cam and Cam. One of the Cams also got traded
Okay.
as well. So I think that was the backup point guard.
Okay. All right.
They do have somebody, I don't know his name, but I did see someone else in there. I know, who was that guy? I've never seen him before, but he might have been one of the guys that was traded with Kevin Durant from Brooklyn. But what I was going to bring up, as far as this series is concerned, I mean, the player that's MIA and the player that's always been an issue with the Suns is DeAndre Ayton. Defensively, he can't guard Jokic at all. I mean, I've seen plays where he was just jumping up and down while Jokic is grabbing offensive boards. Offensively, Jokic can guard him, and he's a non-factor on the offensive end. I mean, if you have a player like that who's basically just a body, he can get you probably 15 points, but you need him to get like 20 to 25 points, 10 rebounds and whatnot to even make that series a series. Make it maybe go to Game 6, but it won't, because of your floor general is out again. We talked about this before the show, that how many times Chris Paul has been out when it's deep into the playoffs, besides the one season where they went to the finals and he was somehow, some way healthy. The Clipper years, it didn't happen. The Houston years, it didn't happen. And now you have the Suns, where it's just injury after injury. I mean, you said it. Is this time for Chris Paul to retire?
Yeah. I mean, your body is your body's breaking down. It's breaking down. It's like the human body has a way of telling you when to quit. I know it's nothing like on the NBA level, but when I ran a half marathon, when I was in Iraq, and I was running, and by the time I got to the 10th mile, my body was just like kaput. I mean, I was trotting at that point. Your body tells you, hey, enough's enough. And that's what his body is telling him. I mean, I believe it might be time for him to hang him up.
Yeah, and how many more seasons is going to go with going so far in the playoffs to just be injured? You know, everybody's injured, wear and tear.
Oh, yeah,
We've
yeah.
seen Giannis, Antetokounmpo, you know, miss a
Embiid.
couple games, and that's the main reason why they lost to Miami. Yeah, Embiid, you know, we're going to talk about that in the next segment about Joel Embiid, and you know, he actually won the MVP, so we're going to bring that up. You have Jimmy Butler being injured, and he may play Game 3 in Miami. They're going to play this weekend. It seems like the only two teams right now that are not, or three teams that are not injured: Denver, the Lakers, and Golden State.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring it up. Golden State and the Lakers, they're playing. Golden State is up. This may be the closest series of the whole playoffs. Anthony Davis, he hit 35 and 20 in game 1.
Yeah.
Lakers steal the game in San Francisco.
Yep.
How do you see this series going?
Oh, it's gonna go 7. It's gonna go 7 games. It's gonna be nip and tuck. They're gonna be going at. This is the series to watch right here. They're gonna be going at it. Cause I don't believe anybody had any. I don't believe Golden State has an answer for AD. So AD has no excuse. I really don't believe they have anybody that could.
No,
that
they
could
do not.
contend with AD. He should be dropping 30 plus a
Right.
game.
Draymond Green is not big enough.
Nah.
Kevon Looney is not big enough. And then on the other side though, offensively, you got Chris Paul, Jordan Poole, and Klay Thompson. But not excuse me, yeah, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and Klay Thompson, who can hit threes from anywhere.
Well, the Lakers don't have an answer for Steph Curry. They don't have anybody for Steph Curry. Just like Golden State doesn't have anybody for AD. So I mean, so you could say they cancel each other out, but I believe AD should just dominate. I mean, he should just dominate. I mean, because that is, and he should dominate on the other end as well defensively. Because I don't see anybody over there that could really give him trouble in the interior.
Right. It's at halftime and Golden State's up 11 right now.
Jeez.
Anthony Davis is being street closed right now. He only has 4 points in 21 minutes. LeBron James is taking over. He has 21 points in the first half. Rui Hachimura has 14 points. So you're not getting anything from Anthony Davis.
Well, see, that's the thing that baffles me about AD is one game he'll give you like 35, then the next game he'll have a game like this. It's like he never strings together like consecutive games like 35 and then okay, I gave you 23. Like I can deal with that, but it's always 35. Oh, I only got 4 points at halftime.
Right. And right now, Klay Thompson is turning to Game 6 Klay with 5 3-pointers, 19 points.
Well, they capable. Golden State capable of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we know how they are in the third quarter. So if they're up 11 now, and Klay Thompson's shooting the way he's shooting, and if Steph Curry starts getting hot by the fourth quarter, they may be up 20. But we're gonna come right back. We're gonna talk more NBA playoffs and more. So keep it locked right here. It's the Keep On Winning Show.
Yeah, Kaja was asking if you think he heard you say fuck.
Say it again.
You think Kaja said he thought he heard you say fuck.
Oh, really?
I said I didn't notice it, but
I didn't hear it.
yeah, I ain't notice it.
Come back on right now.
Yeah.
We're back, Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean P.
and we're talking NBA playoffs where right now we have Golden State up on the Lakers by 11 at the half. Klay Thompson is going to turn into Game 6 Klay, and if it's Game 2 and he's doing this, it's not going to look good for the Lakers because if you have Anthony Davis, who is not producing right now in the first half, he's going to have to really turn it around in the second half for the Lakers to even think about winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
And a split still is great, in the playoffs, especially against Golden State, going back to LA. I would say this would be a 7-game series, with Golden State winning, being at it. They'll be at home. They're going to have one of the best home records, one of the worst road records.
But they showed you they could pull it out in the world when need be.
Right, against Sacramento.
Mm. Well, that's what champions do. I mean, shoot,
right.
You do when need be, you do it.
Right, and some big NBA news. Coach Budenholzer of the Bucks is fired after 5 seasons with Milwaukee Bucks, wins a championship. Considered, the coach that turned that team around to be a perennial playoff team. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo with, 2-time MVP. And for some reason they fire him. I get it. You lose to the 8th seed in Miami, and they were really considered the favorites to win it all.
Yeah.
Obviously to come out of the East. Do you think they made a wrong decision firing Mike Budenholzer?
I mean, the news just came down, so I need to read up more about it. But they won a championship, but not this past season. That was Golden State. The season before that, right?
Yeah. So
it reminds me what the Eagles did with Doug Peterson. Like he won the Super Bowl, and then 2 years later he got fired. So it's unprecedented. It's like that, he just won a championship. However, that series, they didn't play well in that series. A lot of people looked at his adjustment, or non-adjustments in that series. I don't believe he should have been blamed for that because, Giannis did get hurt. So I believe they should have stalled him out for one more season. They see what he could do. But hey, they believe that they can move forward and get another coach because they still got the same team intact. So get another coach. Plug another coach in there and see what you do.
And you do have one of the oldest teams roster-wise.
Oh, yeah.
You had Chris Middleton. Remember, he was injured the last playoffs, which they were one of the top teams in the playoffs last season. And then, Chris Middleton is injured. He was injured most of the season as well. So, yeah, it's a win-now league, and if you lose to 8th seed, this is going to happen. I mean, there's coaches that got fired for less. So.
Oh yeah, Dwayne Casey.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, moving to Philadelphia as Joel Embiid wins MVP, league MVP. What did you think about them having him in? Because he's also injured. Having him in Game 2 as when. Boston blew out Philly, and that series is tied 1-1 as well. Do you think that was a good idea for them to have him in the game?
No, I didn't think it was a good idea. I believe they could have went without it because I would have liked to see what Harden was going to do. I don't believe he would have scored 45 points again, but I wanted to see how Harden would respond to the Boston, bring in better defensive rotations onto him and see what he would have did. No matter what, even if they would have lost, they still would have been 1-1. They still have home court advantage, and you could have rested Embiid for a little longer. I didn't like the move. I mean, I just really didn't like the move. They could have did without that, but I do like the fact that Boston didn't get anything easy inside against Embiid. He had 5 blocks. So I like that. He did look kind of rusty, and I get that he wanted to play because he's a player. He wanted to play, and somebody asked him. They said, "Hey, you wanted to play for the rivalry?" He said, "What rivalry? They kick our butts. They've been kicking our butts for years, so there's no rivalry." So he knows the importance. He understands the importance. Now they gotta go back to Philly, and they have to win Game 3. They can't lose Game 3. They have to win Game 3. They have to win Game 3 to put Boston on their heels, and they can do it. Like I told you before, when Philly wins, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
But when they lose, it's either going to be close or more than likely going to be like a double-digit loss.
Right.
Because Boston's really good. They had a number.
All right, and going back to Joel Embiid, he wins MVP.
Yeah.
Now, this is the third center to win the past 5 MVPs, with Giannis winning 2, Joker winning 2, and now Embiid. My question to you is the center position, or power forward center, since Giannis is not a quote-unquote center.
I consider him a power forward.
Whatever, you're over 7 feet. Is the center position the new dominant position in the league?
That's a good question. We were talking about this before the show. If you go back, and we went back to what, 2010?
Right.
We went back to 2010. So if you go back, so the last 2 times was Joker. Then before that was Giannis. Then before that was now I'm gonna get the orders wrong, but it was guards. So it was like Harden, Westbrook, Curry, and then before that was like what, LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron, that which was forwards, and then going back. So you got the Kobe's, God rest the dead. You got Kobe, then you got Nash.
Let me bring it up right here.
Okay, go ahead, read it off.
And from the looks of it, as far as MVPs are concerned, it's most forwards, mainly because LeBron wins multiple times from 2009, 2010. Derrick Rose snuck in there.
Yeah,
LeBron James again 2 more times. Kevin Durant right after him. That's
Forward.
That's 5 MVPs by forwards, right? Then Steph Curry twice. Russell Westbrook and James Harden, so that's 4 MVPs by guards. And then the forwards and centers. So it's really forwards that have the most, but I would say right now, if you look at the league, the most dominant position and the position that has stretched their game the most is the center position. If you see Giannis, what Giannis is doing, shooting threes, and especially what Joel Embiid has done, he led the league in points per game, and he was top in most of all the major categories, offensive and defensively. So you also have Jokic, who I think if he ends the season with a triple-double, he wins hands down, in my opinion. But he was like 2.2 points away from having a averaging a triple-double.
You said that was Giannis?
No, Jokic.
Oh, Jokic, yeah.
Jokic.
If he would have did that, they probably would have gave it to him, because the reason I know I heard Jalen Rose said this a season ago, maybe 2 seasons ago, the reason why he voted for Joker was because he was the first player to score 2,000 points in the season and have 1,000 assists in the season. So that type of stuff matters to voters. To answer your question, I honestly want to say that is not the most dominant position, but it's hard to argue.
What do you think is?
I want to say it's that point guard position, that hybrid point guard position. I mean, it's like if you look at the teams that had. I mean, I know Dame Lillard doesn't win anything over there in Portland, but he is very he's a dominant player. So you got Dame Lillard, you got Steph Curry, you have you got DeMar DeRozan, not a point guard.
If you look at your points per game, top 5. Joel Embiid, number one with 33 points.
Mhm.
Luka Doncic is number 2 with 32. Damian Lillard's 3 with 32 points a game. Gilchrist, SGA, Shai Gilchrist-Alexander is 4 with 31 points, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is 5 with 31 points. So, right there you have, 3 guards, 2 centers,
Mhm.
or forwards or whatever. So when it comes to, you have a point there as well. When it comes to guard play, and obviously you have Steph Curry, James Harden, who, leader in assists. Steph Curry, leader in 3 points made, 4.9. Klay Thompson right behind him. Damian Lillard right behind him. Defensively, obviously you have the big man, Sabonis, most rebounds. Anthony Davis right behind him.
Yeah.
Jokic right behind him. Blocks, Jared Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year,
Yeah.
and Nick Claxton. So, I got to look at offensively and defensively, because a lot of those point guards defensively aren't that great as far as, perimeter defense, off the pick and roll, steals. You have a couple point guards with top steals in the game. Like Steph Curry's not a great defender. He can
No.
defend, but he's not great.
He's gotten better.
Right. James Harden's not a great defender.
No, not at all.
I mean, the only real two-way player at the guard position is Paul George.
He's a guard. I thought he's small forward. He's not.
Yeah, you're right. He's a forward. But there you go. It's not a guard. That's a top two-way player. But centers are.
Yeah. Embiid, Giannis. Oh, well, power forwards, whatever you want to call it. Well, is Joker a good defender around the rim like that?
He's more of a rebounder than a defender.
Yeah. All right.
Like I said, he had over 10 rebounds. I think 12 rebounds a game.
That's part of defense.
Yeah, 9.8 assists per game.
Mm-hmm.
So, besides LeBron James, you see how many MVPs he had. Even back then, you had centers that were actually doing some great things. Obviously, Westbrook, Harden, they stole the show with everything they did. Just look at the top elite players. Right now, I would say throughout the league, if you don't have a bona fide passing big man that can shoot and stretch the floor and become a quote unquote positionless player, as you see what's gonna come down the pipeline in the draft, I mean, you don't have one in franchise. I don't think you can say that about point guards.
You know what? You got a point. You got a point because I'm thinking about the top teams. Joker is that guy. He got the outlet pass, the passing and everything. He's what they would call a stretch five, a point center. Embiid's not a point center, but he could pass. He could pass. Giannis could pass.
Sabonis is not a center, but he's a big man that can do some things.
Yeah.
Jared Jackson Jr., he's a good scorer, but he's an excellent defender.
Oh, I mean,
Right.
yeah, that guy, he's terrifying. Yeah.
Right. So if you look at the top, and then I'm not sure Wiggins is a forward. Kevin Looney's not that great, but if it's not for Anthony Davis with the Lakers, where would the Lakers be? And if Anthony Davis was a little bit better than he was this past season and wasn't so injured, the Lakers would probably, they was the top 5 team when Anthony Davis was MVP status. Anthony Davis in the beginning of the season, towards the middle of the season before he got injured. He's not considered a center, but he's there. He's 7 feet tall.
He's a dual threat.
You know what I mean? Defensively, offensively, you see what he did last game. Now tonight,
Yeah.
he didn't turn into street clothes. Don't know what's going on with him there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, like I say, you look at these top teams, these teams in the playoffs. Even Bam Adebayo in Miami,
Oh yeah, he doing it.
Mitchell Robinson with the Knicks. He's not a scorer, but he's a defender, rebounder. He has like the most offensive rebounds right now in the playoffs. If you don't have a dominant center, and this is, all the way back to your Kareem Abdul-Jabbar days and whatnot, it's rare that a team without a dominant center wins the championship. You got the Bulls teams,
Yeah,
and you have the Golden State teams.
teams.
That's why they're always so similar, right?
Mhm.
They killed you with the guard play. They killed you with the Jordan and Pippen, how they bullied everybody and defended or whatever. Then you have Golden State with them shooting the lights out with 3-pointers and everything. So
yeah, you're right. Because when I think back to those old teams, even the Sixers had Moses, the Lakers had Kareem. Even though they didn't win shit, the Knicks with Ewing, Olajuwon in Houston, Miami Heat with Alonzo Mourning, even Brad Daugherty in Cleveland.
I won't
So
go that far.
yeah, but, he wasn't. You had to.
We're bringing up Brad Daugherty in this
No,
conversation.
you had to
Dominant
attend-
centers.
Yeah, you had to think about him when he was out there.
Right.
You had to think about him. So.
Don't forget Shaq.
Yeah. Oh, of course not. Shaq one of my favorite players ever. Yeah.
Right.
In Orlando and in Los Angeles, and later
So-
on in Miami.
Right. So I would say really, if anybody wants that debate, right now, what's the best dominant position? And this debate, I would say probably, possibly is going to end in the next couple of years because of the Wembayamas and the other players that are coming into the league that are just literally positionless 7-footer that can handle the ball like Steph Curry and then pass the ball and dish and shoot a three. I mean, this guy shot a 3-pointer, Wembayama. It bricked, and he dunked it off the brick from the 3-point line.
Oh, so he shot it, followed up, and dunked it. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was like, and everyone was like, "Has that ever happened? Ever?"
I've never seen it happen. I mean,
Like literally,
Not
once
that I
when
remember.
it bricked off, he came out of nowhere and just bammed it.
yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, this
And the
kid is
crazy thing about it
unbelievable."
is getting to the point where people want the like the All-Star game and just games in general to be positionless. Don't even put positions on anybody.
Right, exactly.
So Wembayama, he wouldn't be a center or forward. He'd just be a player. So when they pick the All-Star team, it could be
It'd be him coming up,
it could be
with the ball
him,
coming down.
Kevin Durant. It could be him, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Embiid, and LeBron.
It's gonna turn into. I remember NBA Live '95, one of the greatest basketball video games ever, where you created a player, and I literally created like 5 7-foot players, all with big froze, and you could just do anything. I mean, it was just ridiculous. How you can, I mean, it's like, I think that was the first time you can actually create a player in a sports game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then all the games follow behind.
and it's like that's what we're ending up with in real life. A real life video game where you can see something like that. I mean, it's gonna happen. But I would say this: before that, I mean, you said you had a debate with your peoples about who was the best shooting guard of all time, and that can go on forever.
Yeah,
as far as you know.
Yeah, there's a big debate about that, about Harden. It's pretty much about Harden.
Yeah. Oh well. We're gonna have to go to the break. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna get into some headlines of the past week, and keep going on with this NBA playoffs and some more news and notes. So keep it locked right here on the Keep It 1 Minute Show.
Interesting debates, though, man. So, interesting debates, baby.
Yeah.
It's like we literally talking about you see the time, how the times change. It was point guard, then it goes to centers and everything.
Right.
So
There's shooting guards.
shooting
forwards.
guards. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, they blowing them out. They about to be up 20. Let's hear about the third quarter.
Well, you said they blowing them out.
Remember what I said about the third quarter?
Yeah.
That Golden State is in the third quarter. What's his name just called timeout?
Who, Darvin Ham?
Yeah, Lakers called timeout because Klay Thompson hit another 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Same thing with the Sixers game. It's just, you just getting blown out, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought the games were gonna be closer than that. I didn't think it was gonna be a blowout in this series, but I still think it's gonna go 7. Though.
Klay Thompson 7 for 9 for threes. Wow.
7. That's 21 points off of threes, man. Jeez.
All right, we're back. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean P.
and we're talking NBA playoffs. The Lakers and Golden State is live, and Klay Thompson is Klay Thompson's on fire. He has 7 for 9 3-pointers. He has 25 points right now. It is 82-64 Golden State.
Jeez,
About to be
7
up 20 with under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Just like I said, and we know about Golden State, when that third quarter hits and they're up, they're just going to pour it on. They're going to just like an avalanche. And the only 2 players on the Lakers with double figures is Rui Hachimura and LeBron James. That's not going to cut it at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
At all.
At all.
That's not going to cut it. I think Anthony Davis, he has 6 points. D'Angelo Russell with only 8.
Jeez.
And and
Come on,
LeBron
D-Lo.
James with 23 points in 23 minutes, 10 for 16, 3 3-pointers. What cannot happen for the Lakers is LeBron James run out of gas. Because when that happens, he may get injured, and then it's over. You can't have LeBron James carrying this team like he did back in the Cleveland days.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the team against a team like Golden State, that a championship team that can smell blood. You could possibly do this against, a younger team like Memphis and Sacramento, a young team like that, but not against Golden State. You can't have only 1 or 2 players in double digits in the third quarter. Like, man, it's not looking good. And like I said, yeah, you split in San Francisco, and that's still a good thing. But moving on to LA, with the adjustments in the next few games, Steve Kerr, he's a master at it. He's a master at it, and is going to put his team in position to end the series. Now, if they end up with splitting in LA, even winning both games in LA, going back to San Francisco is going to be hard for the Lakers if Anthony Davis does not step up.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to. Of course, we all know they have to win Game 3 or whatever. What they want to do is they want to prove that Golden State is truly a bad road team and win both those games in LA.
They have to.
They have to. So it'll be 3-1. So that way, even if they lose at Golden State again, they come back to LA and then just close it out. But man, 7 for 9, jeez, that's 85,
Right.
like 80%, man, jeez.
And moving to the Eastern Conference, where you have the Knicks playing the Heat, and that's an old school street fight from the 90s.
I
If
used to
you
love
remember those games.
I used to love those games, man.
We talked about the teams of the 90s, late 90s, 2000s.
Remember that fist fight
And,
that
right.
Lonzo Mourning
Yes.
and Larry Johnson?
Right, and then you had the coach underneath everybody grabbing legs and
Van
everything.
Gundy.
Yep, it's crazy. It was crazy back then, but now that rivalry is still there, but it's different players, different different coaches, and the Knicks split 1-1 going to Miami with Jimmy Butler injured. He may play Game 3, and also with Julius Randle possibly can play. He's questionable with his ankle injury. Me personally, I see it Knicks in 7,
Yeah, I see Knicks in 7.
You see the same thing,
Yeah, I had the Knicks winning this.
but the Heat are dangerous. I mean,
Oh,
they're a
yes.
legitimate.
They're dangerous. I could
I would
very
say a
well be wrong.
legitimate championship caliber team. Have you seen the past 3 seasons? Getting to the NBA Finals, almost getting to the NBA Finals. Last
year.
season, and now beating the number 1 team
Mm-hmm.
in all of basketball in the Milwaukee Bucks. So, Miami is a very, very dangerous team. I think the issue is you have to stop them on the 3-point line as far as with Duncan Robinson and other players that can actually kill you on that end of the floor. And offensively, you got to at least try to go at, Adebayo to get him in foul trouble, so you can open up the lane for your guards, Brunson and Hart that can go in the lane. Quigley, he also has to step up. He was a runner-up for a 6th Man of the Year. Young player, very great young player. We just need him and the bench to step up. I think the Knicks bench is better than the Heat, but an Eric Spoelstra team is always in it.
Oh yeah.
You gotta give big ups to where to do. Eric Spoelstra is one of those guys.
Yeah, what I like about Eric Spoelstra is he showed you how good of a coach he is, because he came up the ranks. I believe he was he was like, I forget what he was.
He was
on Pat Riley's.
He was a
team.
audio visual guy.
That-
He was in the
that's
video
what,
room.
Yeah.
And he ended up being an assistant coach. And
Audio visual. I didn't want to get it
Right.
wrong. Audio visual. He came up. They named him the coach. He got 2 rings with the Heat and everything. A lot of people looked at it. Oh, well, that was more so LeBron and everything. But he showed you that
Right.
he's a great coach.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
He
He's a great
has
coach.
101 playoff wins, which is 5th all time.
And the one thing I will say about Pat Riley is he stands by his guys. I mean,
Yeah.
never a rumor about Eric Spoelstra being fired or anything. And I like Eric Spoelstra because he stood up to LeBron and all of
And
it.
I think
he's that guy.
And I think if they lost that series to Milwaukee or even get swept, he keeps his job.
Oh, he
He's not
keeps his
gonna
job.
fire him
No.
at all.
Pat Riley's not gonna fire
Right.
him. No,
Right.
not at all.
And here's some other news in boxing. There's some really big news right here.
Oh, let's go.
Deontay Wilder's arrested
Oh,
on
yeah,
felony
I heard about
concealed
that.
weapons charges.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Los Angeles, possession of a concealed weapon. He was taken into custody
He's bonded out five hours later.
this past Tuesday. Bonded on $35,000 bail. He was pulled over in Hollywood for an illegally tinted windows and obstructed license plate on his Rolls Royce. They smelled marijuana. They found a 9mm gun on the vehicle. This is bad news. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to come back and, try to. He was going to fight the UFC. He was going to fight either Joshua or the UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, but that's not going to happen at all. I mean, he even said, "I'd rather be safe than sorry." The end. Sorry, you'd rather be smart than sorry, because someone of your stature shouldn't have a gun with you. And like you hear all the hip hop songs, you got to give it to your man. Someone else should hold that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have a gun. If you're gonna have a gun, you need to have it registered.
Well, here's the thing: in Los Angeles, guns are illegal. Period. Just like in New York, guns are illegal. You cannot have a gun on you. Period. Registered or not registered, it's not legal. Certain states here in Arizona, Georgia, Texas, others, a lot of states, it's legal. But California and New York are the 2 main states, Illinois being another one, where you cannot have a gun, period. So if they throw the book at him, he's possibly going to be in jail for 3 years.
Yeah,
Remember Plexico Burris had a gun on him in New York, shot himself in the leg, ended up going to jail for 1.5 years.
I mean, Lil Wayne too.
Lil Wayne went to jail for 2 years, having a gun on his tour bus, and he said that it was his gun. So you got people from the South going to different states, and they're thinking that it's all safe and fine and dandy, and it's not. You got to know the laws in the state you're in. You can be safe and sorry and thinking, okay, well, I'm safe and I'm not going to get robbed, but you get pulled over, the weed is legal, but that gun ain't.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful.
You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart.
There was a lady, and she was from Pennsylvania. She crossed over to Jersey, and I guess she didn't realize, she didn't know she had the gun in there. Got pulled over, got arrested on that. Doug Christie, he pardoned her, but you just gotta know. You have to be the captain. If you're the captain of the ship, you gotta know what's going on at all times. You gotta know what you got and what you don't have.
Right.
And as messed up as it sounds. As messed up as it sounds, the law is the law, man. Like, and you just have to be understanding about what you're doing.
Right. And one last thing for this hour, the Devin Haney fight. Like, who do you have on that fight?
Oh, Devin Haney, Lomachenko?
Yeah.
I got Haney split decision.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say Lomachenko also split decision. It goes 12 rounds, but any of those fighters can they beat Tank Davis?
I think Haney has a better chance, but Tank Davis is such a good boxer and such a dangerous puncher. I mean, if you make a mistake with Tank, like with Tank, right, you gotta come in, you gotta get in and out. You can't get in and play around because he gonna counter you and knock you out. Like, so.
Right.
Whew.
My thing with Lomachenko, he has all those angles and those different styles of southpaw. I think he's ambidextrous. So
I believe that Lomachenko could give Tank a better boxing match. I believe he could do that better than Haney against Tank. Against Tank, but I believe Haney's going to win it split decision.
Right. And Canelo Alvarez is back. He's going to fight in Mexico. I mean,
who's he fighting? Just somebody or just some dude?
I think it's a rematch. Let me double check because I think they have, like, ESPN has this whole type of thing for him as far as
it was like the sport days, something like that.
Yeah, they have a whole. They got a whole kind of what do you call it? Videos and back behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
John Ryder is the man who's fighting Canelo Alvarez.
Never heard of that.
Exactly. And then there's an article about who is John Ryder and whatnot. They're fighting in Mexico City, I think. His Canelo's first time fighting in Mexico in 11 years.
Oh, that's it? Oh, yeah. Man. I thought okay.
Yeah, so maybe this is just a warm-up fight for a bigger payday. For Canelo Alvarez, I mean, he's going to have to knock this guy out to him be still considered, pound for pound the best, because right now, how that list is changing, you're going to have, obviously Tank Davis should be right now the number one pound for pound, right?
Number one. Canelo, when's the last time he knocked somebody out? Was it Americana?
I think so. And he loses to Bivol. He wins his last fight. Pound for pound, he's still probably top 5, mainly because of other fighters in inactivity. And I tried to have this, debate where people, who was really the face of boxing, and a lot of people debunked it. It was like, well, these other fighters don't fight as much. There's no activity as far as Bud Crawford or Earl Spence. They fight maybe once a year. Bud Crawford only fights in his hometown, so no one really sees the fight unless it's on pay-per-view. And then you have the numbers that came in with this Tank Davis fight, which was, 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, which is those are Mayweather numbers that haven't seen those in a long time. Those type of numbers, not even Canelo Alvarez fights or that or that massive. So I think fighters gonna have to look at that and be like, well, we're gonna have to get these super fights happening again, because if you want 1 million pay-per-view buys, you're gonna have to fight the best, the fight the fans want to see. And I think it was Benavidez who talked. David Benavidez said he wants Canelo Alvarez. So hopefully this is the tune-up fight for that.
Okay.
I really want to see that. Now that'll be a very interesting fight. You got a younger, faster, more hungrier fighter versus a more established. Now he's kind of, I want to say Canelo's over the hill.
Isn't he only like early 30s, dude?
But ask that question, he's fighting so much. Is he over the hill? Is it time for someone else to step in and beat him? Like he get beat by Bivol now. He got beat.
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, but still, you think he still got it again where he can get back to the top? And I mean beating the best.
Beating the best.
You think Canelo Alvarez, can he do that?
I want to see him fight that guy out of Phoenix.
That's Benavidez.
I want to
You're
see
right.
that fight.
Right.
Then I can answer that question. I'm like, you still got it.
Yeah.
Because he lost to somebody I didn't think he should have lost to. But
right.
Styles make fights.
That is a fact. And May 20th is a Devin Haney fight.
Yes, May 20th.
Okay. So I'm definitely gonna watch that fight. Maybe put some money on it, because people put money on that Tank Davis fight, and I was upset. I didn't know.
Yeah, and I called it. I said Tank and 7.
Right.
I called it.
Well, I called this game right here. Golden State's up 22 points, 94-72 on the Lakers. And this game is a wrap. They probably put their garbage, their garbage lineup in right now.
Yeah.
It's over. It's towards the end of the third quarter. Like I said, the third quarter is when they stretch it out. They start dominating the third quarter. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk more NBA playoffs. We're gonna talk NFL draft in the next hour, and some more topics outside of sports world. So keep it locked right here on the Keep It 1 Million show.
Yes, sir. Hey, you want? If we got time, you want to talk about that ring situation? If we got time, you want to talk about that ring situation with Pat Bev and Westbrook? A little rumor that said that.
What happened?
There was a rumor that said if the Lakers win a ring, if they win.
Oh, should they both? They would get one.
Huh?
They would get one.
Yeah, they'll get one, but there are some people saying.
Should they get one?
Should they get one? Yeah,
they should. They're on the roster.
Yeah, I mean.
People think they shouldn't get one?
No, some people.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's stupid.
No. Some people are saying, I wouldn't respect it. I'm like, and they had some people brought up some good points. It's like the team got better when they left and everything. But I look at it like, if you was on the team, I mean, like,
My thing is, I wonder what is the criteria for that.
Well, the Lakers traditionally, if you were on the team for a good amount of time, and then you got traded or waived or something like that, and they won a championship, they have given you a ring. That's just the way Jeannie Buss operates. And she's done that, and a lot of other teams and other sports operate that way as well. Trying to think of somebody. Edrin James. He didn't even play on that Super Bowl team for Indianapolis.
Oh, really? They gave it to him.
They gave it to him. He was a big because Irsay said he was a vital part of building that team.
Right.
So Irsay said out of respect.
That's like a choice of the owner doing that.
Yeah, but Irsay said out of respect, we have to get his guidance because to Irsay that was disrespect. We were disrespected.
Right.
It's like,
Gifts and On, 12-step gift in bookstore since 1977. Southeast Concord, Scottsdale,
but some people say, I wouldn't respect it
Gifts and
because
on
I wouldn't
Facebook.
call you an NBA champion because you didn't really play on the team.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix
Matt
Center
Barnes,
for the Arts
he has said
and
this out of his mouth
KRDP
because he got a ring with
Jazz
Golden State.
and
He said he doesn't even wear it because he only would get in the game for like 2-3 minutes. He really wasn't playing.
Goldfield Ghost Town,
Bring that up. Yeah, that's
Phoenix,
a good question.
90.7 FM in the East
really
Valley,
is.
and online at Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media.
Views and opinions expressed in
You
this
do have
program
bench players
are
on
those
teams
of the
that
speakers
don't make
and
it,
do
or the
not
players that
necessarily
don't
reflect
make
the
the
views
roster
or positions
that win the
of Desert
championship.
Soul
Oh, like
Media
I give you
and its
two
board
good
of
examples.
directors. Thank you for listening.
Glenn Big Dog Robinson.
This week on the Keep 1 Million
He
show,
got one with the Spurs.
NBA second
He's
round
sitting
of the
bench all the
playoffs has
time,
started
Yeah.
as the
And,
Lakers
another one,
face
Jeremy
Golden State
Lin.
Warriors. The
Oh,
Suns
right.
face
With that
the
Toronto
Denver
thing, I got into an
Nuggets.
argument. I got into an argument with somebody online. It's like, yeah, Jeremy Lin got a ring and Carmelo don't, and everything. I was like, Jeremy Lin got a ring, but he averaged 3 minutes a game. And he only averaged about 1 point a game.
Right.
Come on, man. You comparing him to Carmelo, a Hall of Famer?
As well as
Hey, man, like,
the NFL
it was some Asian dudes, man. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I get it, you ride for your Asian brother. But come on, man.
Are the dogs
Yeah.
of the NFL. We're going to talk more about that, and also we're going to talk about everything in between what happened in the past week of the sports world and beyond. So keep it locked right here on the Keep 1 Million show.
Gotta turn the music down.
Say Drake's net worth is now $250 million.
Oh, 250 million?
I
Okay.
don't think it was a lot more than that.
Probably so.
I would think so.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Dexter Lawrence got paid.
That's some orange.
The Giants defensive tackle, All-Pro.
Oh,
He got a 4-year, $90 million extension, $60 million guaranteed.
they haven't paid. Y'all haven't paid Saquon yet. Right?
No. I'm gonna bring that up though.
Saquon. I remember I saw him play. He came out here. He was with Penn State when he played University of Washington at the Fiesta Bowl. And I seen that guy from the stand. I seen that dude break off. I think he broke off a 90-yard touchdown. That dude, I was like, yo, man, whoever get this dude, he's gonna be a beast, man.
Put it on the TV out there.
Say what?
I said, I ain't gonna put it on the TV out there.
Oh, the YouTube.
Yeah, they put it on
Oh,
the
snap!
TV
I
out
forgot.
there.
Yeah, because he got the
Yeah, hooked up. Come back on in about 1 minute.
We've been waiting for a long time. Yes, we've been waiting for a long, long time. We've been waiting for a long time. But we ain't gonna wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Keep 1 Million Show. We're live. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
It is May 4th, 2023.
Yes, sir. May the 4th be with you.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. And, well, the 4th, or the Force, is not with the Lakers tonight. Game 2,
Whew.
Golden State's up 20. Matter of fact, they're up 28. And I've said it, we've all said it, talking about Anthony Davis. Which Anthony Davis are you going to get? Are you going to get the 35 and 20 Anthony Davis, or are you going to get street clothes Anthony Davis? And
We got street clothes.
it's the end of the third quarter, and Anthony Davis only has 11 points.
Oh, still in the third?
It's just ended the third quarter.
And he down by almost 30? And there's sheesh.
Golden State had 43 points in the third quarter.
Oh.
Right.
Mm.
Anthony Davis only 11 points. Finally have D'Angelo Russell with 10. LeBron with 23 points. I think he's probably sitting down for now.
Yeah.
From now on. Hachimura with 19, and that's it. That's it. On the Golden State side, you have Klay Thompson with 30, 8 three-pointers. Steph Curry with 16, Wiggins with 11, Green with 15 points, and the other Green with 11. That's all 5 players in double figures. If you can have Steph Curry basically have a game off, and he has 12 assists, but he only has 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 2 3-pointers. So he kind of put the, took the gas off, took the foot off the pedal because Klay Thompson had 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for the Lakers because we know you can have these two just go back and forth.
Yeah, they can go for
And
30.
score
easy.
at will. Right, and you don't want them busting 30 together. You definitely not winning that game.
No, not at all.
And also, Jordan Poole didn't do it. He only had 6 points. He only played 16 minutes. But, like I said, you have someone like Klay Thompson who basically, coming off of these 2 major injuries, and this is his first season back fully healthy, 100%. And now he's lit the flame. Yeah, it's not good. And to be honest with you, it's not good for the rest of the Western Conference because if the Warriors are playing like they're playing right now, and they play either Denver or the Suns in the next round,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see either team beating the Warriors.
I'm telling you now, everybody in the Western Conference was rooting for Sacramento. They were rooting for Sacramento. Man.
Yeah, they had a chance. You
Yeah.
even said they had a chance
They
to
had a
beat
chance.
Golden State.
They were rooting for them, and now it's like, yeah, Golden State starting to get their grooves, man.
You awaken the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
You had the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole issues. You had, the whole Draymond Green stomping Sabonis, and people wondering Draymond Green should even come back to the team, and all these drama. And now fast forward to right now, and it looks like the team that just won they look like the team that won the championship. And if you're the Lakers or Lakers fans, you don't want to see that at all. You don't want to see, getting beat by 30, but you're going back to LA. I mean, what do the Lakers got to do going back to LA, or is there anything they can do?
But they have to win Game 3.
I mean, how?
Mm-hmm.
If you got Golden State doing what they're doing now, I mean, really, how? Because it's got to be Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis has to average 30 to 35 points a game. He has to do that. Like we said earlier, he cannot. They don't have anybody. Golden State has nobody that can match up with him. He should be doing his thing. He should be busting it out, and on both ends of the floor. I mean, this is the type of game that Los Angeles doesn't want to play. Mm-hmm. They want the slow, grinded out game. They do not want to play this shooting threes and stuff like that, because they're not going to win that game. They're not going to win that type of game.
And like I said, when it comes to that Denver Suns series, you have Chris Paul is out for Game 3. Mm-hmm. The Suns are already down 2-0, and now your floor general's out for the foreseeable future. Game 3 could turn into Game 4. Game 4 could turn into Game 5. We've seen this before with Chris Paul in the playoffs, namely the second round Western Championship games. If they lose at home, it's over. Either it's a sweep or a gentleman's sweep, but it's over.
Yeah.
Moving forward, let's say we have Golden State versus Denver. I don't see Denver matching up well with Golden State.
Nah. Is Jamal Crawford, is he 100% or like 80%?
You mean Jamal Murray?
Oh, I said Crawford.
Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Murray. Sorry.
This last game, he balled out. He's 100%.
Okay.
But who's going to stop Klay Thompson if he's hot? I mean, I don't know who's going to stop Joker. I think you just let him go and kind of shut everybody else down, as far as defensively. But I don't know who can stop Steph Curry. I don't know who can stop Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. And then if Jordan Poole, starts playing the way he should be playing, this team could be unstoppable. And then also with the Bucks losing, the Bucks are out of it. You have Budenholzer, who just got fired.
Yeah.
That's a breaking news in the past few hours. Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks fired after 5 seasons. But the Bucks got them a championship, deep into the playoffs for those 5 years, basically turned that team around since remember Jason Kidd was the coach and he got fired.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the thing is, you have now in the Eastern Conference, you have basically it's Boston's to lose. Boston is going up against the 76ers. You have the injury with Joel Embiid. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Game 2 happened. He played and they lost by 30. Right?
Yeah.
They won Game 1 without Joel Embiid, and it looked excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, James Harden had to have a career game.
Yeah.
Which is not good at all either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have Maxey. I don't know what happened to these other players, the bench players.
Yeah, Maxey had like 26 that game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Game 2, and
they lost by 25.
With only three or four players really scoring. Jason Tatum only had 7 points the whole game.
Yeah.
That is crazy, to where your best player has only 7 points and you win by over 20.
Yeah.
And you had your team out of it. You said they're going to lose this series. So
yeah, I got them losing in 6 because Boston has their number. And I wasn't expecting, when they won Game 1, I wasn't expecting them to win Game 2. So, but But I was expecting them to just sit and be until Game 3 in Philly, just to fill it out, fill out how that game would go. I know Harden wasn't going to get another 45 points, but just to see how he would respond to whatever the Celtics threw at him. I believe they rushed him. I know Joel wanted to play. I know he wanted to play and everything. They just say, "Oh, chill for a minute. We'll play you in Philly. You get the MVP trophy in Philly, and we see what's up with that." But like I said in the earlier hour, the one good thing I took out of that was Boston couldn't get anything in the interior. He was a swap master down there. He had 5 blocks, so they couldn't do that. They just got killed on the perimeter.
Right. And before we go to break, I just seen something you brought up before we started. And when you said that Patrick Beverly and Russell Westbrook wanted rings if the Lakers win, this is coming from Patrick Beverly himself on his own podcast, saying that he saw Russell Westbrook at the gym this past week, and they're talking about how if the Lakers win, they're going to be suited and booted, waiting for their rings, because they want their rings to be ordered, that they're going to be there at the ring ceremony. But then you say that people are actually pushing back on that.
Yeah, nobody in the Lakers organization, but there are some people, like Skip Bayless and stuff like that, saying things like, "I wouldn't respect that ring." They were a better team when those 2 players left, but the way the Lakers operate is if you were on the team and you just happen to get gotten waived or cut or whatever, and they won a championship that year, Jimmy Buss still does deliver a ring to you, out of respect and everything. And those 2 players were not pariahs to the team. They weren't trouble as in for behavior wise.
It was unplayed.
They just didn't fit the team, but they were good teammates. So me personally, if they got a ring out of that, I wouldn't be mad, because I've seen like I told you before, Edrin James. I noticed in the NFL, he got a ring from Jim Irsay, like when they traded him, but then the Colts won the next year, and then Jim Irsay gave him a ring, and everything. So I've seen that. Now I get it. People were like, "Well, did you really earn it?" But it's a sign of respect. I mean, you were on the team.
Right, and like I said, I'm not sure the criteria, how it is. It probably varies from team to team. How long the player has to be on the team. So if they win a championship, they receive a ring or not. Maybe it's after the trade deadline or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But for these pundits and whatever to kind of, slam the fact that they're talking about they want a ring or whatever, and they're be not on the roster at all, really just goes to show you how people just go so far to talk bad about certain players. Because these are the 2 players, Westbrook and Pat Beverly, that are basically the quote-unquote black sheep of the NBA. They love to bang on these 2 players, how hard they play, how they, what they say on the court, what they say off the court, now what they say on podcasts and everything like that. It's like there's no win for losing. You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
But I don't hear anyone say anything about other players. Like it's fine when another player who was traded away, that team that they were on win the championship, and then they actually bring that player on. They get a nice standing ovation. Hey, you were part of the team. We appreciate you. You're on a different team, but hey, here's your ring.
Yeah.
If the Lakers so happen to win and end up winning the championship, I would think it'd be the same thing for Westbrook and Pat Beverly. No questions asked. The only drama is because of they actually said it out loud.
Yeah.
That's what people don't like. Patrick Beverly said this out loud. And I bet you Westbrook would say it out loud too, because they really don't care what these people think about it, or what these pundits and these talking heads think. It's just, this is what happens in sports. No matter what league it is, if you're on the team for a certain amount of time, you're going to get a ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just really a buzzworthy conversation because of who said it, right? With that being said, we're going to come right back. We're going to talk more NBA playoffs, and a lot more from outside of sports. Keep it locked right here, the Keep 1 Million Show.
SavedByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SavedByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SavedByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My name is Sandra Bassett. I am the CEO of the incredible Phoenix Center for the Arts, located in downtown Phoenix. We've been serving the community for over 45 years with incredible arts and culture opportunities to participate in. We serve over 35,000 people per year. And if you're looking for where we are, I'm glad you asked, because we are located in the campus of the Margaret T. Hance Park, and you may have driven past us many times as you come into the downtown area off the I-10 and 3rd Street exits on your way to Roosevelt Row, or as you're leaving downtown Phoenix. Oh, what do we look like?
Run.
Well, we currently look like we may be in an abandoned church.
Why is that running?
No, we are not.
Why are you
we are
continuing to pull that?
I don't.
Every single day. Behind those
No, I
walls,
know.
you will find.
Oh, that's what's going on. You're in that folder.
You will find all kinds of arts and cultural classes, from ceramics to painting to metals to jewelry to
3 minutes?
photography
Yeah,
to
no, that's what I'm
photography,
saying.
music classes, and more. You will find an art gallery.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers
that
at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Okay, we're back to Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean Page.
and we're back. We got the Lakers and Golden State live in the fourth quarter right now. But some news came out of Florida. Olympic gold medalist Tori Bowie was found dead in her home upon a wellness check. She was 32 years old,
Ooh,
and there's no cause of death. The Orange County Sheriff's Office in Florida said deputies responded Tuesday afternoon in the home in Orlando for a well-being check of a woman in her 30s who had not been seen or heard from in several days. Sheriff's Office wrote that a woman tentatively identified as Frederick Tori Bowie was found dead in the home, whereas no signs of foul play. Quote, "We're devastated to share the very sad news of Tori Bowie has passed away. We lost a client, dear friend, daughter, and sister. Tori was a champion, a beacon of light that shines so bright. We're truly heartbroken, and our prayers are with the family and friends." That's from Icon Management, wrote on Twitter. Track and field star won gold medal in the women's 100-meter final during the World Championships in 2017. Condolences to her family. Like I said, she was only 32 years old.
You said her name. What was her name again? Tori what?
Tori Bowie.
Tori Bowie.
Yes.
Rest in
yeah.
paradise.
Yeah. So going back to the NBA playoffs, and I was trying to kind of talk about a path to see if any other teams actually can. If Golden State's playing the way they're playing right now, what other team can actually stop them? So I was looking at the Eastern Conference. The Knicks in Miami. I mean, this is the old school '90s style.
The Knicks are a good defensive team.
Yes, and great rebounding team, great on the offensive boards. They have a great point guard in Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart is a great addition from the trade deadline, and I was kind of surprised. But then I looked at who he is, and he was former teammates with Jalen Brunson back in Villanova when they won national championships. So you have continuity. I'm so glad that the Knicks did not break this team up where they could have to get a bigger name, an all-star. You beat, Spider Mitchell and Cleveland in 5 games, but this series is different. This is I would say, a mirror image of themselves, a tough defensive team. Miami's actually a better defensive team, team-wise, than the Knicks. And then they have a bona fide superstar in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, who has an ankle injury, could return for Game 3. Julius Randle also could return to Game 3 with his ankle injury, which is, the Knicks all-star player. I have that Knicks in 7. But how Boston is playing, and you say you have Boston beating your team, Philly, I think Boston most likely will beat the Knicks because of their firepower and their veteran experience as far as playoff experience. The Knicks do not have that. They do not have playoff experience, so that's why it's kind of tough to see if they can beat Miami, because Miami has a ton of playoff experience, going to the NBA Finals, going to the Eastern Conference Championship. I would say the only team that can match up well with Golden State, if 100% healthy, is Miami.
Not Miami?
Yeah. I think if we get a rematch from last season with Boston, I think Golden State's going to beat Boston again.
Miami?
Maybe in 5. Because if Jason Tatum doesn't score, they're going to run them out of the building. Just how he didn't score in the finals. Yeah, he got lucky. They got lucky in Game 2 with him only scoring 7 points. But you can't do that against Golden State.
Yeah.
You can't do that in Game 3 of this series against the 76ers. So, once again, that's one player that's kind of a weird thing. Kind of like how James Harden was years ago when he was in the playoffs, just disappearing out of thin air. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jason Tatum's that way. So, and if you look at these brackets, look at how it's going. I mean, you got Golden State right now running up the score against the Lakers. I don't know. Do you see a team that can, if Golden State plays the way they play and like this the rest of the playoffs? Can you see any team beating them?
No. No. I mean, I can see the Knicks giving them some tough games, but the Knicks they're a good team. They're a really good team. They don't have a standout player. Like, they don't have a Jimmy Butler or a Joel Embiid or something like that. I'm not saying that they need it, but I'm just saying they just don't have that.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, that closer.
Yeah, they have a good team though. They remind me of not as great as this team, but you remember those Detroit Pistons teams? Mm-hmm. That's what they remind me of. Those Detroit Pistons teams were
superstars.
Yeah, but those Detroit Pistons teams were better, but they didn't have any superstars. They just was a really good team. So, but the question was, the way Golden State's playing now, ain't nobody gonna beat them.
Yeah, it's a scary situation right now when it comes to, like you said, yes. I would say the Sacramento was closest. But if Anthony Davis plays the way he's playing right now, I don't think any other team's going to be close. Especially not the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers need Anthony Davis to be better than LeBron James. Like, way better than LeBron James in these playoffs.
Yeah, when they won that championship, that's what they were saying. They were saying that Anthony Davis was going to be that heir apparent. LeBron was going to hand it over to him
Right.
when he retired, and he was going to be that guy. Yeah, that was the plan.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen.
Nope.
It did not happen. So, moving on, we have Dexter Lawrence of the New York Giants getting a 4-year, $90 million extension, making him the highest defensive tackle, highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL, with $60 million guaranteed. Now, this that was his he's his fifth year, so they could have had him play the 5th year out until the end of his contract, but they decided not to. Now, in the same breath, you have Saquon Barkley of the Giants, who they franchise tagged him to $10 million. He may not show up to camp because he doesn't want to be franchised, and the reason being, they did offer him during last season a contract that he declined. He's also in his 5th year. The thing is, a defensive tackle right now in the NFL is way more valuable than a running back. I mean, it is. Yes, Saquon Barkley is still young, but we know, let's say he gets a 4-year, 5-year deal, once he turns 29, 30, then what do? Yeah, he's one of the top running backs in the game when he's healthy. Keyword, when he's healthy.
Yeah.
The Giants GM they talked about, there are, negotiating, and since the draft is over, they're gonna start talking again. I would say between 13 to 15 million dollars a year, maybe a 3 to 4 year deal. I'm not sure. I mean, what do you think the Giants really should pay Saquon?
I have 2 words for you: Ezekiel Elliott.
Now, I don't think the
Elliott.
Giants are that dumb to pay him that much money, but I think he's worth between 13 to 15 a year.
Yeah, no. Saquon is worth it.
He is. He's one of the top running backs. He is their best offensive player.
Yes, he is.
He is their best offensive player.
Yes, he is.
He does make Daniel Jones better, in the play action pass game and everything like that.
I'm gonna tell you how good Saquon is, and this doesn't even have to do with on the field. He's so good that the Philadelphia Eagles did a deal with the Dallas Cowboys a few years back to swap places so they can draft Devonta Smith,
Right.
and then Dallas drafted Micah Parsons. They drafted Devonta Smith because the Giants was right in between there, and they knew that if the Giants drafted Devonta Smith, that was going to be a terror for them because they had Saquon in the back and Devonta Smith over the top, and they needed a wide receiver because they were planning on getting rid of Jalen Rager. But my whole point is that's how good Saquon is. He deserves his money. He's still young. He's not in his 30s yet.
Right.
So I believe the Giants should pay him. Just don't overpay him.
Right.
Pay him.
Right. You do pay him. He's worth it. But don't overpay him to where you're still hooked on to him after he's 30.
Yeah,
I think
with
that'll be
Ezekiel
the
Elliott.
kind of issue with and you
Cowboys
see the
should
fall off
yeah.
from Ezekiel, having 115 yards a carry, 115 yards a game to only 60-something yards a game. You did have Pollard there carrying the load. Now you release him,
Now,
he may not even be in
I
the
know
league
people out there
anymore.
watching this probably saying this. I will say this, that Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott do have different running styles. Saquon's more of a Barry Sanders. He's elusive.
Right.
Whereas Ezekiel Elliott was hitting the hole. He
Exactly.
was looking for contact. So it's shortened his career. I get that, but what I'm just saying is running backs tend to tell off.
From a
in the
GM
30s.
standpoint, you got to look at that, the age. And frankly, the running back position not where it used to be.
No.
And how the NFL looks at the running back
No more
position at all.
Adrian. The last of that is Derrick Henry.
Right. And he's on the chopping block as well.
Yeah.
He may be on another team before the season starts. So
Yeah, so it's running back by committee. I mean, look
Yeah,
at how all these teams are running
exactly.
back by committee now.
Speaking of, you have Lamar Jackson who signed his deal, $260 million deal, and he talked to reporters and whatnot, and he said a very bold statement. He said he wants to throw for like 6,000 yards with this the weapons he have.
It's a lot of yards. That's a lot of yards.
Right.
We discussed this in the earlier hour, and I asked the question: has any quarterback ever threw for 6,000 yards? Because I remember Brady and Peyton Manning with 5,000.
I think maybe Marino's close. Not
Marino,
6,000,
I
but
was
close.
bring up Marino, but I would really have to dig into the stats to see. But that's a lot of yards.
Right.
Because they got OBJ, and who's did they pick up another wide receiver?
They got Zay Flowers,
Oh,
22
drafted Zay
overall
Flowers,
pick,
yes.
and then Nelson Aguilar as well.
Oh, they got Nelson Aguilar
picked
now?
up. Yeah. Now, Lamar Jackson's only thrown his most is 3,200 yards. So that's not even close. So I know that's a bold statement. He's being lofty. He's I'm not sure if that's tongue in cheek, most likely. The thing is, what the Ravens did, I don't think it was desperate. I think it was calculated. What Lamar did was also calculated, because we know that the teams that said they would talk to him didn't talk to him. The teams that they said would possibly bring him in didn't. And this non-exclusive tag made sure of that, because if they offered him anything, that the Ravens would match it anyway. So they needed each other, and bringing in Odell Beckham, drafting a wide receiver. I'm not sure if this is the wide receiver that Lamar Jackson wanted, but I think he talked to him about, hey, I need this, I need that. That list that he wanted, that they said Aaron Rodgers won, that same type of list. But when it comes to the Ravens, when it comes to the AFC North, you got to have weapons these days. You can't just, have a running game. You could be the number one rushing team, but you got to at least be a top 5 team on yardage, after the catch. Wide receivers have to have at least 15 to 20 yards a catch. You know what I mean? You can't have just your tight end being your number one receiver. That can't happen anymore. You have to have one of these outside flankers being your top receiver. And you cannot have Lamar Jackson being your top rusher.
Yeah, he's been a top rusher for everything. I'm not saying that he has to be the prototypical pocket passer or anything, but I'm not a Ravens fan, so I don't have a horse in the race. But I would like to see him hand the ball off to those running backs. He got good running backs down there. J.K. Dobbins, he ain't no slouch, man.
And the main reason I'm saying that is because you can't have him injured in December, January anymore.
Oh yeah, that's been.
But the money has they've given out. We have to see him play all the way to January. If they're talking about Super Bowl or bust, they're talking about being a top contending team. And if you're talking about wanting more players coming to Baltimore, because that was the main issue, their style of play was making it have the wide receivers not come. Because I'm not going to get the ball anyway. So why would I go there?
Yeah.
So now you have Odell Beckham on the 1 year. Now you have other players there. And moving forward, if you see Lamar Jackson not getting hurt, you see him going deep into the playoffs and potentially getting to the Super Bowl, then other players are going to look like, well, hey, maybe I can go there and do that as well. Mm-hmm. So that has to be a two-way street when it comes to that. So we're going to come right back. We're going to get into some other topics, and keep it locked right here. It's the Keep 1 Million Show. What was the other thing we wanted to bring up?
We already talked about the ring, boxing. We already did the center.
There's a second else. I can bring up boxing again, but that was something else.
Something
like news. Not as far as sports.
I don't think it was.
Damn.
Kevin Costner.
You know about like the trans thing?
Oh, we didn't talk about that, did we?
No, I forget what the topic was though. Actually.
Gotta be careful with the trans talk.
Yeah. I just forgot what it was. No, I really did.
No, if I was we talk about that, I was just gonna talk about the boycott of Bud Light. I wasn't gonna talk about
That's
that.
what it was. That's okay. All right, we're back. Keep 1 million. Show 'em Dwayne.
Sean Payne.
And I saw a video just during the break that was really surprising. This is stunt's been going on for a while, the past few months, because of some marketing issues that Bud Light has done. And I'm not going to say what, because I'm not trying to get kicked off the internet here. But Bud Light has decided to have a marketing campaign that their core audience disagrees with. If you know, you know. So I seen a video where someone posted at the Boston Red Sox Stadium. They said all of the Bud Light concession stands were completely full. They showed it. I'm like, wow, it's empty. Nobody buying Bud Light. And then they showed the field, and the field is packed full of fans, right? Looked like a sold out stadium. That right there is telling. And you was bringing up how certain people boycott. I mean, what do you think about the situation?
That group of people. That's what the black community needs to pay attention. That's how you boycott. It's like we all get on code. We're not going to do this. We're going to show this company we're not going to stand for this. And that's how you do it. We used to do it. We did it back in way back in the day with the bus boycott with Dr. King, and we did it. But today, you know, the black community to not to really stick together like that and do it like that. But that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it.
This I kind of have been following, you know, a little bit, and you see on social media how people are, you know, tongue-in-cheek jokes about the Bud Light situation, or you know, and it's kind of borderline, you know, a real issue when it comes to these jokes or whatnot. But people are not buying Bud Light. I mean, there's videos of vendors being very upset, like there's no one buying up Bud Light. If this keeps going on, I mean, I have a job. That's how deep it is. And when you talk about our community having an issue with boycotting, we'll have our celebrities come out and boycott Gucci and boycott this. And for like 2-3 months, people are talking about boycotting, and something else pops up, and we talk about that and forget about the boycott. It's like, wait, what happened to, you know? I mean, before I posted on something, I had to go to Starbucks one time, and I was like, hey, can I come in Starbucks? Are we still boycotting Starbucks? What's going on? That was a few years ago, but it is an issue. And if you follow the news with this whole Bud Light situation, their marketing managers that started this, they got fired. Their stocks are plummeting. Bud Light stock, if you're in the, you know, investing, they're going down. And if you any company, anything you're selling for a number of years, and you're making money off of that, if you alienate your core audience, whoever they are, you're gonna lose. No matter who you are, no matter how big your company is, no matter how much money you make, how much influence you have over these people, if you alienate your own base, because this customer base is really the only people that buy Bud Light.
Yeah.
Because personally, I hate Bud Light.
Yeah, I don't.
Bud Light is disgusting to me.
I don't like it.
But you know what I mean? For the people that do drink Bud Light, they drink, and I think there's a telltale sign of business practice that where you want to, quote unquote, expand your marketing business, and it backfires horribly. Look at, look at the baseball stadiums. I wonder, is it going to spill over into the football stadiums upcoming in September with college football and the NFL?
That's an interesting question. I'm interested to see that as well.
Right. I mean, because Bud Light has so many ads, so many millions of dollars they spend on ads
Especially
during the
during
NFL.
during
And
Super Bowl.
I mean, come on, you have some of the best Super Bowl ads ever with the horse and all that, and the Christmas,
With the frogs.
theme. Right. Yeah, the Budweiser frogs and
Yeah.
whatnot. What are they going to do next Super Bowl? Wow, that's very more interesting than just that. Is how are they going to play it? That type of marketing, as far as commercials and whatnot, they're gonna have to apologize or something to get they fans back there. Because if they lose any more money and you're losing product, because I'm not sure, beer goes bad. It probably does after a certain time, and you can't keep it forever.
Yeah, even if it's filled up.
So
Yeah.
you can't keep it forever. So if you're losing money both ends. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. And one other thing, a huge story in New York. Black man gets murdered in the subway by a ex-military, and they finally the internet is interneting. If anybody knows about Black Twitter, there's a lot of sleuths out there, and they found this guy. Guy's name is Daniel Penny, 24, from West Islip, New York. The guy who murdered Jordan Neely. He was a homeless man who danced in the subways for money, and I guess was very liked, was a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Wow.
And if anybody's been in New York, anybody been in the subways in New York, you see these guys, these performers.
They're street performers, right?
The street performers that's in the subways, and recently they've gone viral on social media and whatnot. Yeah. And he was one of those liked guys who just wanted, food, and whatever happened, this guy killed him.
I don't know how it is in
horrible story.
I don't know how it is in New York, but in Philly, the street performers, they have to have permits to do the performing in the streets.
Right.
But it's a shame to hear that. I mean, you look street performer trying to get a little bit of money, and he said he was murdered by an ex-Marine. I want to read more into that to see what the conflict was about. I mean, I don't condone murder or anything like that. I just would like to see what happened to lead to that, because something had to happen.
Right. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen pictures of the end of what happened. Very sad situation. And if you, like I said, New York, you see the homeless guys. Yeah. Playing on the boxes, with their sticks and dancing around and whatever, and give them a couple dollars or whatever, and things of that nature. But this is a horrible story because this unarmed man gets choked out by basically a guy who's a human weapon. The military. For the military, you're trained to kill.
Yeah, it depends on what his MLS was and everything like that. In the Marines, I don't know what it was, but if he was special ops or something like that, yeah, they train you. They train you to kill. So you are a weapon, and they will try him as such.
Yeah, I mean, just like as a boxer.
Yeah.
Your hands are a weapon, so you can't go out just punching anybody in the streets. You're gonna go to prison for attempted murder.
Yeah.
So I mean, this I think the New York DA has called this a homicide. So if when they find this man, he's going to be arrested and charged with homicide. Hopefully a hate crime as well. But I just seen the picture right here. Well, it was a white man doing this to a black man. This is potential hate crime territory.
I was thinking so. Okay.
I just seen the picture, and this is very telling about the NBA. You have Boonhouse, who just won the championship, fired. Frank Vogel, remember, who just won the championship, fired. And then Nick Nurse, gets to a championship and gets fired.
He got fired.
It's very, very weird situation.
That's weird and everything. But that Nick Nurse situation, I didn't like the way they did Dwayne Casey.
Right, they fired Dwayne Casey, then bring in Nick Nurse. That next season, they win a championship with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But yeah, the NBA is really, when you think the NFL being a win now league, the NBA is damn near worse because these coaches are winning championships.
Yeah.
It's
Toronto,
really strange.
I will say that Milwaukee actually got to the playoffs and everything, and who was Vogel coaching? Talking about
remember the bubble Lakers.
The Lakers. Oh, I thought you meant that he just got fired.
No, well, I'm saying this was the past coaches has been fired, and they've won championships. It's really, really strange to me.
Toronto wasn't really good these last few seasons, though. So
there's going to be a lot of turnover over there. There's rumors that Becky Hammon, they're wanting to talk to Becky Hammon. She could be the front runner. To coach the Toronto Raptors.
I'm okay with that. I would have preferred to see her maybe take over for Pop or something like that.
I think she couldn't wait that long.
Yeah,
she's going to be waiting 10 more years.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're going to have to drag Popovich off the court,
bench,
off the bench, off the court, anywhere. You know what I mean? He's going to be laying in the middle of the court, and you got to literally drag him off because I thought that too. That Becky Hammon was going to be that next, and then she ended up going to WNBA. She wins the championship with Las Vegas that very first season. This is her second season, and she's already being called to interview for an NBA coaching position. So congratulations to Becky Hammon.
To her.
You know, and she'll be this happens, she will be obviously the first woman to coach a men's sports team.
Sports team. I like it because I was always a Becky Hammon fan. I believe she got screwed over in the WNBA when she never played for a U.S. Olympic team. She got screwed over big time with that. And then I'm just happy for her. I'm really happy for her. And if she gets it, I hope she does extremely well.
Yeah, me too. I think one more season with Vegas because they do have, you know, if you in know anything about WNBA,
they have a good team.
The Vegas team is stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked.
The Vegas team is stacked. Maybe one more team with them. See how the NBA is after next season. There may be some teams with, but then you may have a pretty good team with Toronto. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Maybe if OG Anunoby stays, if Fred VanVleet stays. Paige Siakam is probably the biggest name. If he stays or not, I think he's gone. I think as a team is going to try to just back up the Brinks truck for him. I don't think Toronto can keep him, and I think Fred VanVleet probably gone as well.
Okay.
So that'll be kind of bittersweet. She gets the job, and then she gets like nothing. You know what I mean? And you're not going to get a lottery pick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Top 10 pick, they may get a top 10 pick.
They're not going to get Wembanyama.
Of course not. That's That's San Antonio, and you see why Popovich is staying because they can get Wembanyama either Sacramento or Houston. San Antonio or Houston. Possibly get Wembanyama, and also speaking of coaching, Ime Udoka. He is going to be the next Houston Rockets coach.
Yes, he is.
So his suspension is over. Is going to be over, and Houston has picked him up. They have a nice young nucleus. Maybe you can make some moves. Rumors of James Harden after the season going back to Houston. Like I said, you got the Wembanyama situation that you could probably get him in the first pick of the draft with the lottery if they actually get the number one pick. So. I think Ime Udoka, after a few years, can turn that team around.
I believe so.
That program, franchise around.
Yeah, I believe so. The thing is, the coach they had before, he was a young guy, right? I forget his name.
Yeah, he was very young inexperienced. Kind of didn't get the just due he deserved.
Yeah, I thought that they could have, gave him a little bit more time, but I get it when they want results fast and everything. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do. What Ime Udoka's going to do with this team.
I mean, you remember Houston was just in that quote unquote arms race with Golden State and Western Conference Finals, and you had Chris Paul and James Harden. You had all these great players, and it ended up just gets bulldozed, in a matter of a year or so, mainly because of James Harden. So it's kind of ironic that there's rumors he wants to come back.
The funny thing about that is, we talked about Chris Paul and health. I remember when they were playing Golden State, I believe if he wouldn't have hurt his hamstring in that one playoff series, I believe they could have pulled that up.
Game 5, Game 6, and then it goes to Game 7, and Golden State pulls it out.
Yeah,
right?
I believe he could have got them. They could have got a championship that year.
Yeah.
But once again, his body just breaks down at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. So before we go, Golden State actually it's a final 127-100.
Oh, 27 points. Okay.
And it probably wasn't even that close.
Yeah, it probably wasn't.
Looking at the scores here, you only have Russell with 10, LeBron James with 23, Anthony Davis with 11, Austin Reeves with 7, Hachimura with 21.
Okay.
Golden State, Klay Thompson with 30, Steph Curry with 20, Wiggins with 11, Green with 15, Draymond Green with 11, and Moody with 10. So Thompson with 8 3-pointers. And like I said before, basically if you have Steph Curry with not an off night as far as a bad shooting night, but an off night as he really didn't have to do much. He had 12 assists, but he didn't have to do much because Klay Thompson did the heavy lifting. And then you had Draymond Green in double figures offensively, which is actually nowadays rare. And then say the next game in LA, Steph Curry goes for 30, and you know what I mean. It's like pick your poison, man. What do you do? What do you do with Golden State?
You just hope somebody slips in.
You don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I don't wish injury on anybody, but you just hope somebody slips in the shower, or maybe has a bad allergic reaction to stuff. I don't know.
Food poisoning.
Yeah. So I mean, when they're on fire like this, they're practically unbeatable.
Right. They're very, very unbeatable. And with that being said, we're gonna come back next week.
Yes.
And talk more NBA playoffs. We're most likely going to have some Game 6s or Game 7s, more NFL offseason talk, and any and everything around the sports world and outside of the sports world. So, thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, KRDP on YouTube. Keep 1 Million Show on Instagram. Listen to #2, KRDP.com. You want to listen to all the music and support all the other shows on KRDP.
Yes, sir.
For Sean P., I'm Dwayne. Keep 1 Million Show. And we're out.
Peace.